Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we are back with another Boston Celtics video, and we are at the point in the offseason where we're making videos off of highlight clips. Payton Pritchard played in a pro.
This is an annual
occurrence.
occurrence.
This is an annual occurrence at this point. We did a video on Payton Pritchard highlights in Team USA scrimmages, and now we're doing one where he just crossed up Jalen Wells in a pro am. I think it was Jalen Wells, right?
Yes.
The snatch on Jalen Wells dropped 68 points in a pro am. I'll play the clip here. We can flip this into a discussion of what we like for Payton Pritchard going into next year as well. Like there are ways to discuss this, but this is the clip that inspired the video, and Payton Pritchard's somehow not most dominant pro-am performance after he dropped 90 something a couple years ago, but he did cross up Jalen Wells right here, sent him flying, and then drained a three in his face. But Payton Pritchard's at it again.
Yeah, Payton Pritchard shattered the previous record at the Vancouver Pro-Am with the previous record holder in attendance. The previous record holder was Payton Pritchard. He had scored 61 points last year at the same event, set the new record this year. He's just, if you are like an above average basketball player that's not in the NBA and you show up to your Pro-Am and Payton Pritchard's there, it's not going to go well for you. Like, not going to be a fun time. Guy just shows up and dominates wherever he's playing basketball. He's an absolute psychopath. We had the Jay King article this year talking about his offseason workout regimen where he's literally paying elite basketball players who play overseas to try and guard him between two, I don't know, shoulder width apart cones, and he's like making people bleed and stuff. He's going crazy to train. So he clearly has no mercy for Pro-Am players. By the way, the 92-point Pro-Am performance came in the middle of Summer League, which I forgot. It came in 2021 when he was going to be a second-year player. He got permission to leave. They were going to the Summer League Championship. He goes up to Portland to score 60 points and then 92 points, and then he goes back to Vegas. They don't win the championship, but the man was just having himself quite the summer. And you're right, like this is going to be a massive year for Pritchard, at least in terms of like opportunity. You're not going to have Drew on the team anymore. You're probably going to be the starting point guard, depending on what they like with Simons. But I think like the feeling in the community is it's going to be Pritchard that gets the start, and maybe they utilize Simons as a six-man in a Pritchard-type role. And the offensive opportunity is going to be there because there's no Jason Tatum. So you're going to have more opportunities to actually initiate, to be the creator with the ball. And that's something that in the past he hasn't necessarily thrived with. Like the example I think of is there's that Sacramento Kings game at the end of the year in 2024. Tillman makes a game-winning floater after they blow a 15-point fourth-quarter lead with Pritchard leading the charge. Comes back the next season. Unbelievable leap, wins Sixth Man of the Year. Him and Derek White combined to score more points than any duo ever in Celtics history in a single game against Portland, where they are playing without Jason, without Jalen, and they have to do just about everything themselves, and they do it really well. I think it just says a lot about his growth as a player, and this is his opportunity to show everybody how he's continuing to improve.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think people have come to think that I hate Anthony Simons because I said the Celtics have been trying to trade him. I've just been telling you the reports. Like I've just been telling you what everyone else has been telling you. They've been trying to trade him. That's just a fact. Like that's not me saying they should trade him. That's just they've been trying and hasn't gone too well, right? Like that's what we've heard from everybody. But I do think if you give them the same minutes, I think Payton Pritchard's better than Anthony Simons. I think he's just a better basketball player if you gave him the same opportunities in the same minutes. Anthony Simons last year, and again, I know the context of situation. I know the context of shots they got to take. I know the context of minutes. I know the context of teammates, etc. Averaged 19.3 points, 2.7 rebounds, 4.8 assists. It's not like Pritchard was that far off. 14, 3, 3, 8, 3, 5. Like it's a 5-point difference, and the rest of the stats are pretty much the same. If anything, Pritchard was better rebounder and a slightly, not as good playmaker, but that's because he didn't have the ball in his hands, right? Like on top of that, everyone looks at like, and me included, and again, I think Anthony Simons is a really good basketball player on the offensive end. He's an elite three-point shooter, like ELITE, elite three-point shooter. There's no debate about it.
Imagine if you spelled it wrong.
I was really like thinking hard to make sure I didn't mess that up. But you look at his cleaning the glass and his efficiency numbers, right? Like these are really good numbers back in the day. Like this year when he was with Dame and CJ, and you look at those numbers of like, okay, yeah, like he plays alongside some other good players. He could really be a great 3-point shooter. These are great efficiencies. And then you take a second to like, oh, wait, look at Payton Pritchard. And he's just the most efficient you could possibly be, right? Like, I think if you give Payton Pritchard an increased role, he can maintain maybe not this level of efficiency. I mean, he was in the 100th percentile of effective field. Like, this is crazy. This is unheard of efficiency. But I think he could be pretty damn good as a top 3 option on this team in terms of scoring. I think he is an elite shot creator. I think he's an elite scorer. I think he can a 3-level scorer at that. And I don't think he's a negative on the defensive end. I think he hustles his ass off to be a pest on that side of the ball. And Anthony Simons just hasn't shown you that. So I think he should definitely start. I am very, very high on Payton Pritchard going into the season. I think he could take another huge leap. I think he's extremely talented. And it's not like he's like, oh, he's this young guy who, let's see what he can do more minutes. Payton Pritchard's 27, right? Like, he is in the prime of his basketball career. He is, if there was ever a time for him to show you, it's now. And I don't want to use this comparison because I don't think he's going to end up being this level of superstar. Look what happened when Jalen Brunson got more minutes, right? Sometimes players just need more opportunities. And I think we could see a huge leap from Pritchard.
I was trying to think, I was like, was it you that was online saying, like, they could take a similar leap? No, it was Jake of First the Floor. He was going to war with
Smart
people
guy.
on Twitter. Yeah, and he's not an idiot. Like, Jake is very smart, like, very good, like, basketball analysis, good statistics, but he was the one that was going to war about that. This Payton Pritchard situation is so interesting, though, because it reminds me of, like, if you, like, listen to, like, comedy podcasts or, like, other podcasts where, like, they have entertainers on and they kind of talk about, like, when they really hit their stride or, like, when they got famous or they blew up or whatever. A lot of times they feel like had they gotten the opportunity years in advance, it might not have gone the same way because they weren't really ready for it. Like, Payton Pritchard is probably the most ready he's going to be to have this sort of burden offensively, like to be asked to do what he's going to have to do this season in order for the Celtics to be competitive, which by all accounts, including himself, who came out and said to Chris Forsberg, was like, look, expectations the same. We want to be a playoff team. The expectation in Boston is always championship, yada, yada, yada. He's going to have to deliver on that. And, he's coming off the best season of his career. He's shown that he can kind of shapeshift a little bit on offense, whether he needs to be a catch and shoot guy, showed more of an ability to be comfortable with the ball in his hands, with defenses actually paying attention to him last year. This could be his moment. This could separate him. And, just to go back to the Simons point of all of this, comparing the two of them, even if you feel like they're close skill-wise, the fact of the matter is Pritchard's under contract for, 2 more seasons after this on $8 million a season, and Simons is going to be a free agent next summer. Simons is going to be a free agent next summer, and we've seen the way free agency has gone this year. Just because he's a free agent doesn't mean he's going to get paid, and he could very well be back with the Celtics if everything works out and, be on like a mid-level exception or something. But even if he is on a mid-level, he's still making more money than Pritchard is. Like, Pritchard is on such a value contract that you can't beat it. Like, you need to pour all of the opportunity into him, because if he continues to blossom, like, that's a guy that you are able to have on your roster who's a motherfucker, and he's not taking up a significant amount of your cap. It makes it easy to build a team around the stars.
I think it's important to prioritize Pritchard as a part of your long-term future, right? Because you don't know with Simons. In an ideal world, you sign him for a cheap contract and you go. You never know. Like, we obviously saw a lot of money dry up quickly in free agency this year, and there really wasn't a market, but you never know what can happen, right? You have Pritchard under contract for 2 more years after this. I just think it's more important to prioritize that guy. But we'll see moving forward. Let us know what you guys think. Obviously, the Pro-Am was the topic of the video, but delve into a deeper conversation. Let us know what you think about Pritchard in the starting lineup, him crossing up Jalen Wells, all the good stuff. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all the same. Take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you're feeling about Pritchard heading into the season. Let us know how you're feeling about the team heading into the season. Subscribe to the channel because we have new content every single day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Tomorrow's pod, we will have a special guest joining the 2 of us. So stick around, hit the bell to stay tuned and figure out who it is. Other videos are on the channel in between like these to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the 2 of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and game recaps are there for you. So if you just want those, follow us, leave a 5-star review, and that does help us very much. So we'd appreciate it. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Get those emails in. This is your time to shine. August, September, we got nothing going on. Talking about clips on Twitter. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jackson NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Check Taco. Come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous. These guys